Hi guys, thank you for joining us. Only One United, Natalie here. I really appreciate everyone joining. I know there's been a bit of a mix-up, but we're going live now. I've got two fantastic guests, Namrata and Charlotte. Charlotte comes from across the city, let's say, the blue side, but she obviously has a little soft spot for United, and I think it'll be well. Let's see how the top three ends. But yeah, two Manchester clubs won't be upset if it was like 2 and 3. But Namrata, I think a lot of you know her. She's from India, this side. What time is it there, Nam? Thanks for joining us. Just
1 a.m.
1 a.m. Committed.
It's early. It's not late. It's early.
Yeah. It's early, definitely. Charlotte, thank you for coming on. Just want to give yourself a little introduction. I've given you one, but just tell the people about yourself.
I'm a City fan, but most importantly, women's football fan. I follow the Lionesses everywhere, and yeah, it's just a really exciting time of the season. So excited to talk about it.
Yeah, definitely. I just want to get straight into it now, guys. Obviously, it's a review for Chelsea, but it's a talk about the top three, and then we're going to talk about a bit of the WSL and obviously the press conference that happened today. I can see people already saying it. People saying, Lanzell saying we won't get top three if he doesn't, he isn't the man to take us forward. And we're going to get into everything, and people have been saying it. But Nam, what's your view on Sunday? I can see Karen said here, disappointing, missed opportunity. Just talk us through it.
I think like before the match, I think I might have been the only United fan who was expecting us to win. I think like based on the form that we've had and especially the injuries that Chelsea have had, and the fact that they have like, I think 5 games in 20 days. So they would kind of have to watch their squad a bit. I thought like this would definitely be the fixture where they're going to go all out, especially after that comeback win against Arsenal away from home. So, and I think also if you look at the match last season at Kings Meadow, we didn't really have anything to play for. Top three was kind of out of our hands. We needed Man City to kind of mess up, but we still went to Kings Meadow. First half we were brilliant. And I thought this time we have something really, really good to play for. So we're going to go totally all out. So I don't think we were bad, but we were kind of ineffective and passive, which is worse because, you could have played like 90 more minutes and we wouldn't have scored a goal. And, we all know the kind of comments like Skinner's put up recently. And I think we'll talk about that. But I genuinely think that we could have done a lot more despite the wrong penalty calls, despite Chelsea being defensive or whatever, and we just didn't do it. So very, very disappointed about that.
100%. I mean, yes, for me, there were 2 penalties, but I think we can't look at penalties. We know how bad these refs are. We're talking about it year on year. So for me to keep going back to that, I mean, God, it reminded me of Casey when the ball hit Zellum on the head and it was a handball, and I remember that game. We could have had 2 or 3 goals before that, and I think like what you say, Nam, it was passive. There wasn't much desire to score. I think they played well. I think I saw that desire. There was times when Nikita Paris like cleared someone out and this kind of thing, and they were getting kicked, and so I saw that passion. It's just the thought process to get forward, to attack. I mean, people are saying subs, people are saying Phil.
Was that the starting 11 you expected? Because I'm not really familiar with your starting 11 and how similar that has been. But yeah, was that your?
Yeah. There's a comment that said something like this. Lanzell here. Every week we can name the starting 11.
Oh, really?
And the subs are predictable. And I think for me, what shocked me, what shocked me was that he brought off Tooney. Not that he brought Tooney off, but that he brought on Rachel Williams for Tooney. I couldn't believe that.
Was it early substitutions or last
60, 70, and then Lucia Garcia got 4 minutes, and for me that was disgraceful.
4 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Wow.
Yeah. Go on, Nam.
4 minutes. And who came off for Garcia?
I think it's...
Don't even know. A winger. I don't even
Wait,
know.
was it Leah Galton?
No, I think Lee had come off before that.
All right, okay.
But he brought on Mannion before he brought on
Yeah.
Garcia.
Who came off? I'm asking all these questions. I'm not sure who came on for you. But then did you go 3 at the back and then everyone?
Yeah. Well, I thought he just looked 4-4-2 still, but.
Ah, right.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I think actually, I think that Emma Hayes could have like guessed our starting 11 6 months back. And like she would have known exactly the starting 11, who are going to be the subs, at what exact minutes they're going to come on, and like it's basically the same. So everyone could have guessed how we're going to play.
so who would you have in the starting 11? That's not in the starting 11 already. Who would you swap?
Should I tell you my team for next?
I'm interested because I have no clue.
No. This is the team that I would play now. And I don't think he will, because he's come out today and said, I won't rotate, I won't do this, I won't do that. You know, he's come out today and talked about Lisa Nelson, who has joined our club for 80,000. That's a record fee for us. And she's not seen a game yet. And now he said about Lisa today. He said about Lisa today that she has to do learning. And I think when people hear words like learning next to a player's name, they know, because he said this about Vilda, that he's not going to play them. So I don't understand why we've dropped a lot of money next to a player and we're talking about learning. How are they not already learned when you're spending that much money? But my team for the weekend, for mixing up, maybe play it against Brighton. Who knows? If they do well, keep them on. Will be Mary. I think Hannah and Honor are still doing well. I think I'd like to see Mannion next to Maya.
You drop Millie. You keep Maya in.
Listen,
okay.
Interested. And the midfield now, I'd like to see Paul. Yeah, I'm with you. I'd like to see Cascarino. This is for lose.
Is that the one you was talking about just then? The one that you spent a lot of money on?
No.
Oh, okay.
Cascarino, who's come on loan from Paris Saint-Germain.
Oh, wow.
Lisa Nelson, who we spent the 180,000 pounds on, and not yet to get a minute. And then I'd like to see Vilda Borisa. I think Vilda Borisa is the one that a lot of people are frustrated about that's not come on. I was surprised that she didn't come on for Ella Toon, because for me she's the and she's that creative. She can break the line. She scored the free kick versus Durham. You know, she made the assist for, I think it was Leah against Leicester. You know, these are the things. She plays balls on a touch, plays through balls. If a team is coming up 2 banks of 4, like what Chelsea were doing, just defending, low block, Vilda is the one to break that low block. She's already scored at Kingsmeadow last season. You know, we needed... This Lisa Nelson is a replacement for Jackie, because we're using the same money that we got for Jackie on her, plus a bit more, but, whatever. So for us not to... Jackie was key to the Kingsmeadow, getting the 2 goals, going in ahead. So why aren't we not seeing Lisa coming on, trying to change the game? Up front, I don't know if he'd play Rachel Williams, for a cup game. But I'd like to see Lucia Garcia a lot more. I think she's coming into form. Leah wasn't the best on Sunday.
Oh, can we talk about that corner, Leah talk? I only saw the second half, and I don't know why Katie didn't take it, because that is the worst corner I've ever seen in WSL. Come on, it wouldn't even go to the corner, it went right over to the side. I don't know what it looked like in the pitch, but why was Leah taking the corner? Was Katie not on it?
Leah has been taking the corners a bit more, because I think he wants to change it up. I think he wants to do something different. But when I was looking at Katie's corners, they were going just straight into the goalkeeper. Whether that's Katie's fault or whether that's not making enough movement, I don't know. But, Katie was losing the ball a lot as well in the middle.
And this is big games your players are nervous for, and making mistakes like that. It's embarrassing, against Chelsea and that corner, Leah Galton. I've never seen Leah Galton take corners before, but that was a really
took
bad
a corner versus Leicester and he scored a goal from it, and it was
all
of them were perfect. I mean, I know it's versus Leicester, but they never, it was perfect. It was in the middle.
Yeah.
Really, Vicky's saying it. It's the midfield. It's an issue. It's stale. I mean, I'm on this podcast now, and I never expected Charlotte to come and say it's embarrassing, but that's how it is.
But it is, Charlotte,
and this is what hurts me.
The corner
and this is what is I don't really think. I think Mark thinks that we're against him, or we want the team to lose. There's these people, and I just think.
I don't think the performance was embarrassing. I just said that corner was embarrassing.
No, but it was all
kick it above your midfield and get it to Sam Kerr.
I feel embarrassed.
Yeah,
I feel embarrassed that you're a City fan coming on here and calling it embarrassing. And everyone knows
I said the corner was embarrassing.
But the whole performance really was embarrassing. Like you say, the ball over the top that she scored from, why aren't they defending better?
That was their tactic, to just get it over the top, get it to Sam Kerr, straight over your midfield. There's nothing midfield could have done about that. Needs someone pressing Millie Bright, so she can't make that pass. And then, straight over, and nothing Maya could have done with that. I mean, she chipped it. Or was it Maya or was it Millie, that goal? I forgot which one it was. But I don't think the performance was embarrassing. I just said that corner was, the worst I've ever seen in the WSL. But, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are now saying it, isn't it? You know, Vicky's saying highlights. What? When you've heard, I know she didn't say it, so she's rectified, but it does hurt, doesn't it? Now the fact that's what they're laughing at.
The players were nervous, like you said. That corner was terrible. Katie's corners were bad, and then the confidence goes in the players, and these players are used to playing at big games. They're playing at Old Trafford in the next few weeks' time, and you've got to be confident for these games because Chelsea will. All they need is one chance, and right over the midfield, straight to Sam Kerr. That was their tactic, really. Like, get it over the midfield, get it to Sam Kerr. But Millie shouldn't have been allowed to have that press Millie.
Nam, what's your views on what she said?
I don't think Old Trafford games count as big games because we kind of play them against the likes of West Ham and Everton. We haven't really played like a big game of consequence. I think we're still scared, and I think that mentality kind of seeps into the squad as well. I think even if you couldn't have guessed how Chelsea will play, but when you saw that lineup, you knew how they're going to play. And fine, you don't have enough time to change your starting lineup, but you could have made substitutions. And obviously, I think even Leah, sometimes. Even she makes those crosses that kind of go over everybody. So sometimes you put in really good crosses. Sometimes she'll either have a good cross or a really bad cross. There's nothing in between. I think there was a free kick as well. I think towards the end of the game, I guess, when Katie Zellum took it and she basically just lofted it towards the keeper. And I don't think anybody really had. Apart from Mary, who made some really good subs, I don't think anybody had a good performance. And talking about Millie, right? So I watched the game back, the full match again. And this time I only looked at how we passed the ball out from the back. And you could see the entire game, Millie Turner, she's motioning to Katie Zellum and Hayley Ladd to kind of come closer to, be available to receive passes. And they're both kind of stood static. They're not moving around. The awareness is not there. They have 3 Chelsea players all around, and Millie then will just pass it back to Maya. So I think for a team who has been wanting to play out from the back for the past 2 years, it's incredible how we are so bad at it. You probably don't notice it as much in games, but when you actually look at it only for that purpose, and our fullbacks as well, they're kind of advanced forwards. So you pass it to Ona, but there's no point, right? She has 2-3 Chelsea players on her. She gets it there, but then there's nobody to support her because then Nikita Paris has actually gone in. So I don't know. I think we need huge wholesale changes if we want to get into top 3, because I get it, there's no shame in losing to Chelsea, but I think the kind of form we've had, if you take it with the Leicester 5-1, I think the performance, I don't think we are there yet.
I mean, a lot of people in the comments are saying this formation, that formation, Lanzell saying if it's not going right, the initial plan, then it's a long ball to Leslie, and that's what basically was happening. Just back it up and hope for the best. And I do agree with what a lot of people are saying. But I think what Charlotte said earlier, it's about the confidence, and they weren't confident going into it. And Now, I mean, Paul Greaves, serial winners. We need to learn that mentality.
Did Chelsea look nervous? Did you think any of the Chelsea players look nervous? I mean, they were at home, but you get that vibe from anyone.
So I'll say one thing. So Chelsea have, as I said, like they have 5 games in 20 days. United, City, Reading, then Lyon home and away. And if you look at this fixture based on how the table is right now, you'd think like, okay, after Lyon, maybe the Arsenal match, the United match is actually the most important and the most difficult one for them. But if you look at like the last 2 years, you look at historically the fixtures have been played. United is actually the easiest fixture because Reading have taken more points of Chelsea than we have. So, you know, they know our game plan, they know our starting 11, they know we lose badly against them. So they're basically conserving energy. So Emma Hayes knew exactly what she wanted to do in this match.
Yeah. And a lot of people are saying that, you know, this and that, and we had this much possession, and we could and United looked like the best. And United did look like a good team. I'm not gonna lie, we looked.
So as a United, fan,
we looked like we were winning.
Who would you give?
We were stroking it about. But they and people are saying, oh, but Chelsea, I wouldn't want to watch that. They don't care. They just want to win. That's it. They don't care how they play. They don't care how it looks. They don't. I heard Farrah Williams talking about Emma Hayes don't want to, look pretty on Sky Sports. She's not bothered. She just wants to win. And that's the difference. Mark Skinner's too bothered about, oh, my plan of football and this is how you play football. And you've got, who cares, mate? Football, you win by putting the ball in the net, not by moving the ball, this and that. You win by the ball going in the net. And, in a way, when you say, did they look nervous? For me, they looked nervous when we were attacking them in the first half. And What's-Her-Face gave that penalty. It wasn't in the end, but that could have then changed it. But that's when they looked nervous, when we were running at them, when we were, attacking that right, was it right? Yeah, right side, I'm running at them, I'm running into the box, and then Carter took out Honor, the Buchanan. She's done that 2-3 times now this year, this whole season. She should have given away about 5 penalties. So I feel like if we had brought on Lucia earlier, because she's someone that can run at them, when she come on in the derby.
Swap her for Nikita, would you?
Yeah. I mean, they brought on Thomas, and Thomas, I think she's good, but the thing is with Mark, I think he went for defensive substitutions. Thomas, is strong, can tackle good and all this. Lucia maybe doesn't tackle as well as Thomas. But instead of thinking, let me think about tackle, you should be thinking, we've got 60, 70% possession. Mm-hmm. Let me think about who's going to put the ball in the net. And, Vilda is going to put the ball in the net in a 10 more than what Rachel Williams is going to do. On the wing, Lucia's more likely. We saw when Lucia came on versus Spurs, she was just running at them, putting the ball in the box, and that's what caused the second goal. If you're playing balls over the top, it was Lucia that ran onto the ball over the top and got a goal. I think it was actually Vilda who played it to Lucia versus Leicester. And I know it's Leicester and Chelsea, and I know when Nam was just saying then Reading have been a more difficult side, and Reading went and scored 2, even Brighton scored 1. For me, that's embarrassing. How can these teams score versus Chelsea, but we can't? And I mean, you've obviously got Chelsea coming up, City, and it's going to be interesting to see how you do. I mean, we have scored against Chelsea. We've shown last year we can score 2. We scored 1 at home.
So what was your percentage? And you just didn't get shots on target?
We had
that
3 shots.
Percentage and 3 shots on target. So as United fans, who would you give player of the match to that game, against Chelsea?
No one.
Mariam.
No one.
I mean, I think we could have been 3-0 in the first half itself if Mary did not make some saves.
Wow. So they had more shots on target. Okay, I didn't know that.
They had a lot of chances. Literally every time they got the ball, it was a long pass. Sam Kerr gets it. She fluffs it. Thank God she was having a bad day. Otherwise, it could have been 5-0, 6-0.
Yeah. And then can we just talk about the attendance and all those empty seats at Kings Meadow, because loads of people would have bought a ticket for that, and I know there might be season card holders and they give them, you know, to charities and things, but same time, like, it's so easy to get a refund for Chelsea and WSL games. There should be, you know, there's people that would have gone to that game. I don't know what the atmosphere like or what the attendance was like, but you could have fit another 1,000 people there easily, like, or from on TV. It's just embarrassing that same amount of seats always there at Kings Meadow when, you know, you want to get as many people there and to come to. But it was a great atmosphere from the TV. Could hear the Barmy Army.
Yeah, all the songs. Let me just touch on that. I had about 5 people in my DMs looking for tickets. I think 2 of them got tickets. I mean, Charlotte, I hope you don't mind me saying, but you were one that I was trying to get a ticket for last minute. And it was tough running around trying to get tickets, you know, sending this, doing that, sorting, you know, I had to pay for one of my friend's tickets and then give her postcode and then she paid me. So the ticket situation, especially for United, they gave us less tickets than what we had last year. But we were all stuffed in. And I mean, I love it. I love it when it's like that. I love it when it's stuffed in, low roof. That's probably why you could hear us a lot. Yeah. But then, like you say, we were looking over the other side, pure empty seats. And then they said sold out. And then it was under, you know, there was 1,000 people that didn't turn up. When United fans were all stuffed in like this, barely able to move. You know,
you could have sold that easily.
Oh, because the year before they gave us half of the set, so it's like just push them along, and then that would have been.
Was that empty when you went last year, or was it?
No. I think it was. Okay. I don't know the full attendance, but last year it felt like there was more.
Because every time
obviously they thought they were going to win the title, so that's probably why they.
That was the title one. Every time I've been there, that bit's been empty, and it's just really frustrating. Like I said, there's so many people that want tickets that can't get them, and it's you know.
Yeah. I mean, people are saying like battery hens, we were stuffed in.
Wow.
And I love being in the away end, and that's what I want. It's something that I've pushed for.
I've not seen any pictures. Did you get any pictures of yourself?
I don't have any pictures, but I'm sure there'll be pictures somewhere, maybe. Yeah. But you know, it was really good. What are battery hens? No, they're like hens, like chickens that you see in the factory, and they're all jumping on top of each other. That's how we were, but I didn't mind that. But,
you can't see that on TV. You just
because they were the others. We were but you saw all the empty seats, and like you say, for TV, it doesn't look good.
No,
it doesn't look good, especially when you're bragging that it's sold out and this and that. And like you say, there were people going, "Can I get a ticket? Can I get a ticket?"
What was the attendance? Did you?
I think it was 3,000
something. Yeah.
But it should be like 4K. So why stuff United fans in when we know that there's issues around sort of crowd control? I'm not saying like it's like the men's game, but we're seeing tragedies that have happened. What if someone had got crushed?
Oh, so you're saying it wasn't safe at Kings Meadow?
It wasn't safe, no. I mean, I love it, but what if we had scored, everyone rushed forward, players run towards the little kids.
The thing is, Kings Meadow is sold out a lot, so it needs to address these things about safety as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm for. I don't want them to beat all seater stadiums. I mean, obviously when we're in the Emirates and stuff like that,
it was unreserved in your area.
Oh yeah. We was all standing. But yeah, we could have been trampled, and I think last year they spread us out a bit more across another stand, you know, because like Mark says, we go to anywhere and we'll sell it out. You know, that we'll keep selling it and selling it and selling it. We could sell your whole stadium probably. We could sell the whole Kings Meadow. You know, that's how many people went to Spurs. That's how many people went to Emirates. So, you know we could have sold that whole.
Has there been any info about how many tickets are sold for Old Trafford? Do you think it's going to be a new record on top of that, or?
I don't know, because then when it's Old Trafford, it looks like there's not as many stands open. So I don't know what's the issue, because I mean it's like what Frank has just said. Away is always a lot better. I think men's or women's. I think if people travel and go football games, the away, and because there's little of you and you're together, it is better. And I know that they're bringing in now, definitely for next year, there's going to be away ends. It's going to be, you know, if your team want an away end, you will get an away end. There's no kind of, we're not fighting it anymore. But that's what we've always wanted. So I am excited, but it needs to be a reasonable capacity. You know, Man United fans need to get, if it's a 4.5k, Man United need to get at least 5% of that. I don't know what, I'm not good at maths, but you know, need to get at least 1,000, maybe Man United. You know, why not? Makes sense. And 3,000 Chelsea. That's an away and not 600 and then keep slashing it. It doesn't make sense to me. But yeah. I don't know. I mean, this is what Frank's saying. They have to confirm their attendance. Otherwise, things like this need to be happening. And I think there needs to be, I mean, I was speaking to Kirsty, I don't know if she's on here or watching. We were saying there needs to be some kind of thing where if you buy tickets and you constantly don't turn up, you're not allowed to buy again. I know that's... but I do think with grounds like Kings Meadow and what's the other little one? Boreham Wood, and you know, even Lee Sports Village is getting like that. The academy is quite, you know,
at City it's so easy to get a refund for a ticket. Obviously, you can't at City. You can't put your season ticket up for sale, which I think they're gonna slowly introduce that. They introduced it for the Arsenal game. You can for the Premier League, but not for the WSL. So things like if you can't come, you can put your season ticket on sale. There you go. Like there's someone else on that seat that can really, because but it's so easy to get a refund. So I don't understand why people aren't doing that.
I think they need to do things like, you know, because I think we're at a point now in women's game, people will buy it and they won't turn up. And I think even if it's 10, 20 quid, I think they still won't turn up. So I think there needs to now be, they do it in Premier League. If you don't turn up for this many, you know, things, there's consequences for not turning up, because like you say, there's people banging down the door looking to go. So why are we blocking people? Because then that will put people off eventually. I keep looking for tickets and then I keep looking on the screen and it's not sold out. So, you know, there needs to be something done about it. Hopefully, I don't think it'll be next year, but maybe in a couple of years we'll see that changing.
I hope to get to Kings Meadow and not see those empty seats for once.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about, I suppose you're not going to Kings Meadow. You've been to Kings Meadow, was at the start, but now City in a really good position. Level on points with us again. Embarrassing in my eyes. But City are going to play Chelsea soon. That's one coming up pretty much.
Yeah, we're playing all the top three. Top four. We've got Chelsea at home, Arsenal away, and then Derby away at the end of the season. So, we've got some tough fixtures. I know we've got Villa in the cup as well, which is exciting because we've lost and drew and not won against Villa yet. So some really exciting fixtures. And I'm not gonna lie, like when it got to the 85th minute and we were drew against Brighton, we can't draw against Brighton. But Brighton need the points just as much as we need the points. So it does make it really exciting. And then when Bunny Shaw scored that goal, like last minute, even though I was at home, I couldn't believe it. I was like, thank God we needed that point. And like I said, equal points now. So every game matters. Every game, like every decision matters. And it's just it's such an exciting part of the season. But we've got Chelsea at home. Bunny Shaw is on fire. Scoring goals for fun. And we've got tough fixtures. Chelsea at home, but hopefully it's sold out again. So I really do hope we get a sold out crowd at the Academy Stadium and no empty seats. And I just feel like we can win at home. I just feel like we can beat Chelsea. I really can. Even if we draw against Chelsea, just any point I'd be so happy for that. And then Arsenal away. I'm not worried for any of these fixtures at all. Maybe the Derby just because it's away at LSV, but I'm really not nervous for these other fixtures. But again, we've got other fixtures. We've got West Ham, always a difficult team. You've got them at Old Trafford. I think your last score against West Ham was 1-0 or something. So these teams, they're eager for points as well, and a draw for them would be a great result. So I want to avoid draws, but excited for the next few fixtures.
What do you think, obviously, Nam, when you hear Charlotte saying she's not nervous for anything, she's excited going into all of them? I think, God, that was me at the start of the season. That's how we always are at the start of the season. We're always excited, we're always happy, and then comes to the end, and this is where we start to get nervous, and this is what happens. I mean, Lanzell's saying he wants a Chelsea. We need a Chelsea win there, but I heard a podcast and it says if City win, that blows it all open again.
Yeah.
And then they said that makes United title challengers again. I mean, for me, we never were title challengers, but it does blow it all open. And
wow, really? You think that you were never title challengers?
No.
Wow.
It's always been top 3, never been anything else. That's all it's been. Always been qualified for Champions League. But what do you think, Nam? Just like what I've just said. I know it was a bit controversial what I said, but go on.
No, I think United and City fans kind of swap mid-season. Like City fans are miserable at the start of the season, and then they kind of start feeling confidence because I think City usually do really well. They kind of go on a run in second half of the season. We do the opposite. We start out really well. Second half of the season, like it's just it's really bad. I think I mean, obviously, on paper we can even win the title right now. Like Arsenal win against Chelsea or City win against Chelsea, and again we're competing. I think we'll probably go on top on goal difference or something like that. I also think that if it was City who faced Chelsea, that Chelsea side last weekend, they would have won 100%. I don't know if it's a mental thing or whatever, but I think it's against Chelsea. Everyone thinks we're not going to win. And it feels like we just stopped trying to win the match as well. And I think they feel a lot more confident when it's Arsenal or when it's Chelsea. Like they know that every single season we win at least one game against them, and if it's at home, I think they'll definitely fancy their chances. My worry really is that, I think it depends on what was the internal target. Like if within the team, if they thought that top 3 is fine, and a title race is not really what we're going for, I think they might not be that disappointed. But if they had really wanted to go for the title, then they'll be really disappointed with this match. And what I'm actually kind of afraid of is because if you look at, we have 2 games. We have Arsenal at home and City at home, but they're towards the end of the season, right? And it can both be a good thing and a bad thing. It can be a good thing because, it's end of the season. You don't have to worry about that. There's a lot of time between that game. You can plan different strategies. You can try experiment stuff. You can bring in new players and all of that. It's a bad thing because it's always hanging over your head. And if we drop points till then we're suddenly 4th and we're chasing top 3. And this team does not really do well when they're under pressure in second half of the season. So, yeah, I think looking at the kind of form and performances we've been giving, I don't really feel that confident against the non-top 3 sides as well. Like, we might as well drop points against Villa. Like, I genuinely think we might drop points against Villa.
Yeah, I think we might drop points against Brighton. Look at City. City nearly dropped them, and that's.
They need. They're relegation, so they need the points.
Yeah.
Like they're going to come.
West
Brighton
Ham
done well in the transfer window. They've done well. They signed 4 new players, so every point matters to them as much as it matters to us.
I think West Ham at Old Trafford is a tough game. I think Villa, that's one I was already looking at anyway, being a tough game. Even if we had won against Chelsea, I was still nervous for Villa. And I just think that this is what happens with us. We do go in this spiral. And I think like what you said, you said about the way that we get, I forgot what you said actually, but it's like we are not confident. We're confident in the first half, and then City, then it changes and people were saying it. And I feel like we'd never have won against Chelsea. So yeah, it's that pressure. But really, even though we have won against Arsenal, it's always in the cup. It was never in the league away, but we did it, And I feel like we should have won against City at the Etihad. We were a better team. We come off frustrated, and I feel like that should have been the change in us. But I do feel like people are saying it now. We're going stale. It's subs are match fit. The midfield, we've already said it. Players look flat, and I feel like, even I was listening to a podcast. Susie Rack said, is this how much is this going to impact us? And it's how we respond now. It's how we respond going into, Brighton lose these kind of games now, because these are massive games. Every game now is a cup final. Got to win every game. I saw Peter saying 15 points and we can do it. Yeah, but we got to get these points, and that's the thing. Now the pressure's on. Lanzel's just put a question in. We play our next game. What should our starting lineup be? And I think we've gone over it, Lanzel. I just read it back. We have gone over it, and I've said who it should be.
I've got a question for you and the United fans. If Ella Toone had that red card still and she was out for that Chelsea game, do you think it'd be any different?
I think that would have led to Vilda playing, and it could have been a lot different. I think Ella's a bit off form at the minute. I think she was good versus Leicester, but that's Leicester. For me, I think I don't know.
I think we would have won all the games if because even in that match she was very frustrated, and if you look at her face against Chelsea as well, you can see she's very, very frustrated. She's not been on form, and I think she needs a rest as well, like to kind of mentally switch off. And she's just not getting that. Like she's not playing well. She's not getting subbed out, and I think when Tooney gets frustrated, she's either going to get a red card or she's just basically not going to do anything on the pitch. And I really think Wild is on form. So it's not that, we just want her there, but she's actually scored goals in, I think, almost every game that she has started. She scored against Chelsea, and I think she's a lot more creative from the midfield than Tooney is. Like, Tooney's more direct. So I definitely think we could have won if Wild had started.
If Ella still had that red card. That's interesting.
Yeah. Well, would he have started Vilda because he saw Williams came on? So would he have been Williams? And this is the thing. This is the thing that's now, I suppose, frustrating a lot of fans that we, like I said, I'm going back to my podcast, but they said Man United had a lot of creativity. There's even an article from The Athletic that sort of said that. Why are you making a sub for defence if the midfield needed changing? It just, a lot of it didn't make sense, and a lot of it doesn't make sense with him. But yeah, it's, I don't want it to be all negative and all about this and that, but I think that this is the reality, I suppose, that we're living in, and fans can talk like this, but the players shouldn't be thinking like this, and they should feel like confident within themselves, because losing to Chelsea isn't bad, but they need to show it now, regardless of what he does. I just think he is sort of really limiting us. I don't know. I mean, you've got a manager that like that, I suppose, and I will come to Frank's question, but you've got a manager that's, I suppose, divides opinion.
Again, it's the substitutions, like you said, bringing on Garcia in 4 minutes. It's the same with Hayley Raso at the Etihad. She brought I think he brought her on at the 87th minute. What can she do in 3 minutes of I don't know if this is English football, but I just don't understand substitutions and why they're making them so late when you've got such a good bench. Why are you tying new players out? Even at the Etihad, we only made one sub, and it was like the 87th minute to bring Hayley Raso on. Why? Why would you not bring them on sooner? Same like when we had the cup against Arsenal. I felt like we was playing for extra time when we could have made early substitutions. But I feel like Gareth Taylor is now more rotating the squad. We've seen Philippa Angeldal come into the midfield, and he's sort of dropped Dana a bit. But to be fair, I'm really happy with Gareth's team that he's been putting out. And Brighton, we did a few more substitutions before the 80th minute, so it was good to see, and it showed it. And Bunny got that last minute goal, so yeah.
What do you think it is? Why do you think he's starting to make more subs now? What is it? The pressure of having to win, or is it hearing fans talking and media talking?
It seems to be like the top 4 games, no substitutions. Any games like less, loads of substitutions. Like Brighton made more substitutions. So I really don't know. But there's a lot of talk right now about Gareth's contract. I think City are wanting to, but Gareth said it has to be right for him and the club. So I'm not sure what that means, but I'm hopeful that Gareth will sign on for another few years, and because I think losing a manager, hopefully over the summer, but right now, like Spurs losing their manager, I just think it's the wrong time. But yeah, I'm hopeful we'll keep Gareth for a bit longer till the end of the season at least.
Wow, City fans saying they want Gareth Taylor to stay, and a lot were saying they wanted him to leave. And
I've always stuck behind Gareth. Got to trust the process, and yeah, I mean we've only lost to Villa and to Chelsea, and since then, and to Real Madrid, and since then, you know, we've won or drew every game, and I feel like we've got every shot of being in the top three, and you know, like Gareth says, winning the league. So,
what do you think now? Because Charlotte, she said something there, and we nodded together, didn't we? He does it versus the Leicesters and the Brightons and the this and that. I think we saw Mark. We were actually praising him. We were saying, "Wow, this guy's done 5 substitutions," and you know, it was against Durham and it was against Leicester, and you know, Vilda. She came on versus Leicester, and she got like half an hour, 20 minutes. You know, good period to affect the game. And like I said, she got her assist, and you know, she had a good cameo. She had a good substitution, and that's what you want to see. But then, like you say, versus Chelsea, sort of reverted back to that type of 4 minutes or 2 minutes or this and that, and you know, just trusting the players that you trust rather than maybe the players that can actually impact the game. And you know, Charlotte said something about English, and I do think there's a big thing about English managers. I think tactically maybe they're not always the best, and like you say, things like this, substitutions, not just English. You know, I've heard
Gareth is Welsh, but I think like just English football in general.
British,
like,
yeah, if they've had that upbringing of around English football, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think now?
So I said this to you, but I actually have a conspiracy theory on the game. And you know, all the substitutions that Mark made before the Chelsea game, he made like 5 substitutions in 2 games, and we all thought, you know, he's a changed man. He's now, you know, we've turned a corner. It's going to be more exciting from now on. I think he actually just wanted to trick Emma Hayes into thinking he's got something different up his sleeve, and he had no intention of actually doing that. And like, I know it's crazy, but you cannot convince me that it's wrong. But if you look at Mark Skinner's, and I've actually done that, I've actually gone to FBref and I have actually analyzed the pattern of substitutions. And I told you this as well. In the start of the season, till the Arsenal game, we made like 4 or 5 substitutions every single match. I mean, yeah, people got like 5 minutes or 7 minutes, but we made enough substitutions. Then we had that game against Chelsea where we lost, I think was it 4-1 or 5-1. I think that's when he kind of stopped doing that. He got afraid, and he then, you know, since then it was 2 subs, both of them forwards, and no, he doesn't change his midfield at all. And I think the reason is that his substitutions are very predictable is because he doesn't really change the system. He changes the personnel. Most managers will not change their backline, so that is out of the question. So you have 5 players out already. He doesn't like changing the midfield because I think he trusts those 3 players to be able to play the way he wants them to play, and I think he's kind of afraid of losing control in midfield. Even if we actually are losing control in midfield, I think he has this thing that he won't change the midfield in a league game. So that basically just leaves you 3 positions. So he'll sub out 2 out of 3 in a match. And even if you look at, even in the games when he has made 5 substitutions, the tactics haven't changed, the game plan hasn't changed, the formation hasn't changed. And I actually think the Chelsea game was probably the only change in formation in the entire season when we switched to back 3 in the last 8 minutes. And that also kind of came because Chelsea shifted to back 3. So it was a like for like change. You know, we wanted to have a similar kind of formation to counter them. And maybe, you know, I feel really, really sad when I say this, but, you know, maybe by 82nd minute, he thought, you know, we're not winning this game. The title race is out of the question, but now we need to secure the top 3 and goal difference. We don't let's secure that goal difference because that's the only thing that is separating us from City and Arsenal. I obviously do not like that, but and so about Gareth Taylor, right? I noticed this. So I haven't watched a lot of City games this season, but in the Etihad game, he hadn't made a lot of substitutions. But I thought uh, the team that he started off, they did not play well in the first half. In the second half, after we scored the goals, it seemed like the players are kind of warming up now. They're performing a lot more better. So in that situation, he might not have wanted to make subs because they were on top. So they probably made the sub too late, but you know, I don't think he could have subbed out a lot of players because they were actually playing well. They were actually playing for the win, and we were not. So I'm not sure. Like Charlotte can probably correct me, but I think he probably tries to give his starting 11 time to come alive in the second half before making a substitution.
Yeah, definitely. Like sometimes this season we call ourselves second half FC because we come out a better team. Even almost the second half of Brighton, we almost came out a bit better. But like Frank said before, like Gareth didn't know his starting 11 until very late into the season. We had a lot of players leave, back end of last season, so it was pretty much a brand new squad. And then I was so grateful for Alex to sign a new contract, 3 more years of Alex Greenwood. So yeah, hopefully we've got more confidence going into the summer. But again, players like Hayley Raso only getting 4 minutes. Are they going to stay next season? So yeah, I just feel like Gareth has slowly become more confident in his squad. And like you said, I think again at the same time I love the players just continuing to play, but I just worry about the bench and not having not having a stronger bench next season.
Yeah. No, I think it's a valid thing, and I think, like you say, it's not 11 players; it's a whole, 25 kind of thing. And it obviously we've had shows about talking about this, but yeah, here's a question for the panel: would you start Lisa Vilda and Cascarino against Luz? And I think I've already said it, Peter. Yes, I would. That would be my This would be my midfield 3 that I want to see play, and if they did play well, I'd want to see them kept in the starting lineup. But Nam, what do you think?
I think I wouldn't start all 3 of them together because Cascarino and Lisa, they haven't had game time. I'll probably start with Lad, Cascarino, and Wilde because I think was it against Leicester when I think both of them came together almost at the same time. And Cascarino is kind of, I've only seen like maybe 20 minutes of her, but I think she's probably the most press resistant midfielder that we have. So I think then she'd probably go well with Cascarino. I'm not sure because I haven't seen Lisa yet, but I would definitely bring her at halftime, no matter the score. We're scoring, we're not scoring. Definitely in the second half, what you mentioned, that has to be the midfield.
I mean, Charlotte, I don't know how you can bring, because you've probably not seen them either, but it's like we haven't even seen them, and they joined in January.
Not even a few minutes at the end of the game. Like you spent like your January sounded, every other day there was a new player announced, and now it's like where are they? Like they're learning or something. Like they are new to the league and new to English football, but how they're going to learn by not getting on the pitch and playing, or is he just thinking about next season already? So,
coming on to that, this is his press conferences. He has said that. He has said Lisa and Estelle are Man United players. He said Man United players for the future. But how can they play for the future? I mean, this is what's so annoying about it. He's saying next year there'll be a lot of rotations because we'll play a lot of games in the midweek. And I think that's very presumptuous to say when you haven't even confirmed.
Conti Cup's midweek. What position does Lisa play? Sorry, I don't know.
Midfielder.
Midfield as well. Okay.
Yeah. So she was brought in as a Jackie Cronin, in my opinion, replacement. And he's saying these things. People are now, Vicky's saying it, it's like you have to have a test before you play, and I don't know what it is. I don't know why he's doing this. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people were very keen for Lisa, as if he's seen that, and he digs his feet in even more. I mean, a lot of people, I don't even care who's watching now. A lot of people don't want Katie Zellum to play. Yes, she's the captain.
Wow.
But no, listen, because it's sort of similar with yourself. I saw Frank say, if we have Steph play versus Chelsea, will probably get torn apart. And, you know, I suppose it is. We are in a similar situation now. I don't know what you agree, but Steph's your captain. Yes, she's been your captain a lot longer than think. And yes, she is in a different stage of.
Steph did play the Chelsea game, I think, from what I can remember. And honestly, when we played Chelsea away at the start of the season, we were so unlucky to lose that. Like, it was the best I've ever seen. A lot better than we played against Aston Villa. And I would be confident if Steph stepped in, you know. But at the same time, we have a big squad, so whoever plays, I feel I'd be confident against.
But Steph hasn't been playing a lot of games, has she, this season? Even though she is your captain, or has she?
Yeah, she's played the last 3 games.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm confident going in. If she does start against Chelsea, I would be confident.
But she did start, didn't she? Then she didn't. Then she came out. So then it has been Steph. But then I suppose
Greenwood has been like a lower league game she's been playing.
Yeah.
So yeah. But at the same time, I'd be confident if you put her on the pitch against Chelsea. So a question for you, and the United fans, do you think, you know, 6 months in, you're still missing Jackie? You know, like everyone's saying about Keira Walsh. I wouldn't say City are missing Keira Walsh. Do you know what I mean? We lost 2 games this season and we're on a roll.
I want to say we're not missing her, but we're playing the same midfield. So the fact that there's been no change, and we've got in this Cascarino, we've got in Lisa, and we're not seeing them play. These are, you know, like I said, she's supposed to be a replacement, but we're not seeing anyone play. And, you know, and then he's saying, oh, we're going to do this. I mean, Paul's even saying she's on loan with an option to buy Cascarino. And will she stay? Will she want to stay? Because she's not playing. And he's saying, oh, well, in the future, I'll play them. But future, you don't even know. You know, like you're saying, we'll have a lot more games. How do you know if we've not even got there? So, you know, for me, I don't think we're missing her. I think we're missing her in that she's a very good player. I think like you're missing Keira Walsh in that if you put her back in, she would get back in. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it's how the manager's managing the team for me, rather than we're missing her. You know, like you said, I'm missing her because I loved her, but you know,
Tottenham have just scored.
Tottenham have scored. Got it.
So, what are United fans thinking about Mark? How long's he got on his contract? So a lot of people are talking about Gareth's contract just because it's been spoke a lot recently. So, yeah, what are United fans thinking about Mark, and is he going to stay?
Well, let the people speak. I'll let Nam answer.
I think before I go there, you know, we were talking about theory exams, and like Grace Clinton was basically on a 6-month internship, and like literally he said we signed her and then we kept her for 6 months, did not play her. She wasn't even on bench, right? Because we wanted her to like absorb the principles and values and skill set of the team, and then we sent her to Bristol. Like it's I don't understand this, because he also said in one of his press conferences, he said that these players, and he mentioned Cascarino, that they are our future. And I'm like, she's on loan, she's not getting played. How can you know that she's your future? And if she's your future, why isn't she playing? So, like, I think, yeah, he's just a lot of contradictions from him. I think about Mark, I mean, personally, I don't want him to stay beyond the season. And again, it's probably a biased standpoint, but for me, you know, unless we win the league, even if we come second, you know, I think we should look for a better manager.
So, if you got Champions League, you'd still want a different manager.
Yeah. Because that's my point, right? You look at the game like Chelsea. When you get into Champions League, you will get a lot more games like that. And how you kind of get ready for a game against Chelsea, like if you're being very passive and you're not being brave against Chelsea, who you face at least twice every season, how are you going to prepare for Barcelona, Juventus, Lyon, PSG, Madrid? Like at least you guys are playing Madrid, right?
Yeah.
Like
Real Madrid in the first round.
Yeah, but that's the point. I think he's done well, and again, if you actually look at this season, if you take the Arsenal game out, I think the Arsenal game actually has, you know, it's that one game which has changed a lot of opinions, and a lot of people base how our season has gone based on that Arsenal result. But if you take that out, the only good thing in terms of results is that we've got points against these bottom of the table teams, uh, which we would have lost last season. So we've got out of Conti Cup in the group stages, the easiest group stage we'll ever have. Uh, we drew against Man City when we should have won. They were out of form there in their transition year. We weren't able to beat them. Uh, we drew with Everton. I think we drew, or did we lose? I think we drew with Everton. Again, not the best team around, right? Uh, so if you take we lost pretty badly to Chelsea at home. Now we lost 1-0. So if you take that Arsenal result out, to be honest, this season actually isn't going to give you confidence that he's the one who's going to take us from next season onwards, and we'll be successful in the Champions League, we'll be successful in the league, and we'll also be challenging for the cups. I don't think he's somebody who can manage the league as well as the cups. And I think, yeah, even though he can have like all the squad depth that he has, I really don't think he can manage all of that together.
I mean, Paul saying who can come in. I think even Frank saying who's available. You know who I'd go for?
One Skinner. There you go.
No, you must be mad.
One Skinner for another.
No.
One Skinner.
You know who I want. Anyway, you both know. What's her name? Serena Wigman. She's available. You need to pay the money, though. This is the thing is with United. Are they prepared to pay the money to get a good manager? There's good managers there. The PSG manager was one that was apparently looking to come or wanted to come, or there was talks like that. Gerard Piqué, there was talks about him. There's Tommy Stroot at Wolfsburg. There's Maria Pride. There's Natalie Arroyo at
Natalia Arroyo.
So there are managers there, but it's just a case of how much United. This is why I do think that he will get his option if we do qualify for Champions League, because they just want to make it easy. They don't want to go looking to spend money. I mean, for example, what I heard is when Mark came in, we were after Pedro Losa as well, who's now Scotland's manager. And he looked at the budget and said, no, you have to increase the budget. If you want me to come here, it's Man United, come on. I mean, obviously, I don't know if that's the exact conversation, but he turned it down and then they went for Mark. And you have to think, why did they go for Mark? They went for Mark because he can do it on a shoestring. Look at what he did at Birmingham. That's what they went for Mark for. Mark took Birmingham up to top 4 with no money. So imagine giving him a little bit of money, he's going to be all right. But real managers, like we just discussed, like that are in Champions League, winning titles, they don't want to do it with a 5th biggest budget in WSL. Are you mad? They want to be up there 2nd or 3rd biggest budget. And I totally agree with what Namrat is saying. If you can't do it versus Chelsea, if you can't be up for it and show, ambition and be able to change mid-game and be able to show a different tactic and, have a plan A, B, and C. I'm not trying to downplay Chelsea, but I think even you said, Charlotte, when you play in Real Madrid, when you play Atletico Madrid, not even the best team, not even Barcelona, we're not talking about, even when you play, Paris Saint-Germain, I think playing Roma. Yeah. Roma. It's going to be tough. These people are real.
Even even Arsenal struggled against Ajax, Netherlands teams, all these other European teams that have, had players in the Euros that are going to come, they're going to be in that first round.
They're going to be up for it. You think that everyone playing Man United, think about it, if we go in the Champions League, every single team is going to play us at their big stadium. Everyone's going to come out for it and they're going to be on it. And the thing is as well, this is going to be their cup final as well. Someone like, I'm not trying to say, but, even though we're the first team in there, we need to know who we are. And we're not showing who we are. We're Man United. And we need to have...
When you're in the Champions League, you haven't got a cup team. You have to have your best team. So where your cup team going to play? Do you know what I mean? You don't have your cup team anymore.
This is what he's saying. Oh, I will do this more. I'll do that more. So he's sort of saying he'll have to rotate in the league. But this foolishness, what he's saying, because... You just have to everyone has to be up to speed all the time. Like you're saying now, Chelsea in the quarterfinals, Arsenal, 12, how many games in 5 that, that you're saying? Can't be, I don't want to play this, or only play Rachel Williams. It can't be like that. You've got to play everyone. Everyone's got to be ready. You can't just get upset because someone tells you to make subs quicker and play Lisa. You know, Jesus, we'll be in the Champions League, brother. We're not in Birmingham now. You know, and this is what I'm saying. Why are we lowering our standards to him? Why aren't we, you know, the minute Casey left, we had that opportunity to show where we want to be. And for me, I mean, I think I touched on it, didn't I? I don't want an English manager because for me, I think as well, that's why English teams probably don't do as well. I think both teams are going out, Arsenal and Chelsea, because they're not good enough. Tactically, it's not good enough. Maybe Arsenal might, I don't know, but there's no tactics. You know, like people were saying earlier, it's just hitting the ball long. Can't do that. It can't do that. You know, maybe in the WSL you can do it, but you can't do that even against Leon.
I don't know. Arsenal have not got an English manager, and Jonas, I feel like, knows these European players, and
yeah,
I don't know. I think they've got a chance against Bayern, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even Lanzell, Roma will put us to the sword. Takeover budget will change. I mean, there's a question I want to go back to that I saw from Frank a while back, and it said about Leslie Russo. Do you think she'll go no matter what? And I don't know. I mean, I've heard some things that apparently she is going to go no matter what. But I think as well, saw Lanzell say we want a 15-goal striker anyway. And I do think that is a key area we need to improve. Rachel Williams, she's done well. She got the goal versus Reading. But like you say, Reading and Roma, there's two different things. You know, we're talking about bringing on Thomas and all this kind of thing. It's a different kettle of fish. And I don't think they might look good against Reading.
You'll need Champions League experience players. Like, how many players have you got that have played in the Champions League? You need players that are experienced in that, you know, playing in the Champions League.
Yeah. I mean, Anton's saying about Jonas and Lanzell saying criminal what they're doing. Yeah. And I do agree with what Anton's saying here about the thing the squad is too small. And I think we're seeing it with them. But even then, I think Bayern are better tactically and all that kind of stuff. I just think in different leagues, it's tactically better.
I think I'll just say one thing about Russo. I think I wouldn't be too upset if she leaves. I think she's replaceable. I don't think Ona is replaceable. And if you have to like combine their money and give it to Ona, just give it to her, because you can get another forward who can probably give you more goals than Alessia is doing right now. Alessia is actually somebody, if she's in a good team, she can score 25 goals in a season. But at United, unless we improve, she's not a 20-goal striker yet. But Ona is going to give you like an 8.5 out of 10 every single game. And I'm not ready to see the drop-off from Ona to whoever replaces her. So that is the one that we need to keep a hold on.
Yeah.
Wow. So as United fans, you'd rather keep Ona than Alessia?
All day, every day. But did they think like that? Did they think like that, or did they think, let us get another Lioness in, let us Lioness FC, you know, who sells the most shirts, Ona or Russo? So that's obviously how they think. I mean, I know people are saying...
Like Leslie might actually win the World Cup for England, for all I know. But I think when it comes to United, like England is a much better team than United, right? And we will not get to a similar level, you know, unless we spend heavily in the next 2-3 years and we have a coach who's very successful. And I think if Russo is in the team right now, she's an answer, but you also need somebody else who's going to give you 15 more goals in a season.
Yeah, next season, yeah. People saying break the bank for Honor, but here I'd have Shaw over Russo, so would I. I think Bunny Shaw was someone. No, easily. Lanzell saying same. I think Bunny was someone that, I mean, I don't know if I knew you back then, but obviously I was on different channels and I was doing videos of Bunny and I said, this girl's going to do this. Even when she wasn't scoring goals for City last year, I said, City fans don't know how good a player that they've got. And yeah, 10 times. Like, Eve, I think her name's, I can't say her name, Eva Pajor. She plays for, I think it's Eva. I don't even know how I've said it. I've said it wrong. She's Polish. She's a striker. She's banging goals for Wolfsburg. That's the kind of striker, you know. Shaw, Miedema, that's what I'm saying. But with these players that we want, I mean, thingy, yeah. I wanted Bunny when she was in American college, mate. That's how good she was before the World Cup. So I knew that she was going to tear out the World Cup. I knew that everyone would want her. I wanted her before she went France. I don't think you could have got her this one, serious. You know, this is the level if we want to be Champions League. But, you know, Diani, she's out of contract. But are they going to go for that? And that's where we're at. And I know people are saying new owners, this and that. But, you know, like what Nam says, give the Russo money to honour, make sure she stays, tie it up, and then go and, you know, go and get a striker. But yeah, Pop, I don't know.
Meanwhile, Chelsea's getting Ashley Lawrence. Like they don't, like they just.
The thing is with Chelsea, I feel like they just get players for getting them. Like
Yeah.
for me, I look at that squad. It's good, but are they going to beat Leon? So they're in the same place. You know, Buchanan, I think she's a good player, but you know, this is what I'm saying. It does take time, and you know, Sarah said not going to pay these goal scorers. I agree, Sarah, they're not. And I mean, I think you said something a bit further up that I just. But yeah, it's. I mean, listen, let's end it on a positive. We're playing lose. Could be in a semi-final.
Is a lot of fans going down?
Yeah. 6 o'clock bus.
Wow.
We're excited. I don't know if the bus is sold out, but it's a sold-out stadium. I think there's going to be a lot of Reds.
It's the furthest they've got in the cup, so they're going to bring everything. Their best team, everything.
We've played Lewes before. Now I can't remember if you were watching us then, but I've been down there before. It's a great stadium. People are worried about the stadium. It was a bad pitch before, but I think they've really done it up. It's like a EFL standard pitch now. You can walk all around the stadium, and there's loads of journalists. Journalists are fighting. They're saying the press box is full, so some people are saying they can't even get in.
Is it
Daily
on TV?
Mail journalist, I've just dropped her in it, if you know who I mean. But, you know, that's what the level that we're at. People can't get in. You know, big national newspapers. So maybe they will in the end, but I don't know, that's as far as I know so far. So it is going to be a really good game. I mean, Nam, when you hear that, when you're from India, so I know it's big here, isn't it, Charlotte? But, like, lose, it's really putting them on the map, innit? Man United.
Yeah, I think I haven't seen us play against Lewes, but I've heard a lot about them. Like they're, I mean, they're the club that they're leading the equal FA Cup prize money, that whole thing. And I did watch a few matches when we were in our first season in WSL, and I don't think they've done that well this season in in the championship. But I've heard of the dripping pan, and it's called the dripping pan, right? Yeah. I think all of you, when I hear you say it, that's the one ground that you all like rave about. The worst is, I think, Durham, and they're like opposite spectrums.
Yeah, defo. Charlotte, have you ever been Lewes, or is that again?
No,
I know you're playing thingy, but
I've never been to the Dripping Pan, so I'd love to go one day. Is your game on TV? I don't really know.
Yeah, BBC. So
wow,
and everyone's back, so it's normal again. Gary Lineker's back. Presenters and commentators were expecting him. Our friend of the show, Michael McCann, is commentating, so I'm sure it will be on. I don't know if he'll be on BBC or FA Player, but yeah, a good commentator. We're happy for that. Listen, guys, we've been going an hour. I really appreciate there's about 30 odd people watching now, and you've been watching consistently. And, wherever you are, drop a like on it. We want to see more content like this. Drop a like in, drop a comment in. Thank you for everyone who's been commenting, because you make the show what it is. And that's all it's about, I suppose. Us sharing our views, you sharing yours, and we're just having debates. And I've always said this, YouTube for me is like therapy. So we're all frustrated, or we're angry, or we're this, and you can just get it out. And I think that's the best way, rather than just sitting alone. We're all in this together. This show is for everyone, not just for us three here, or for likes or clicks or whatever. It's for everyone, and it's for everyone to feel like their voice is welcome, no matter what, your opinion, you know, and I feel like it's got to that point. It can get to that point where, you know, some opinions aren't welcome, but, you know, we've even got a City fan, so there you go. Every opinion's welcome, even though the things that you said at the start hit me like a dagger.
Oh.
I'm not gonna lie. No, but it's good. It's good. Thank you. Thank you. Nam, tell people where they want to find you and, you know, how they can chat to you if they want to chat more or whatever you want to say.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter, so Namrata_YDB, and you can follow, or like if you want more such like therapy sessions publicly, then yeah.
Yeah, we'll be doing them definitely on this show. So definitely tune in. Charlotte, tell people where they want to find you.
Yeah,
Or if they want to talk
Instagram,
Man City.
TikTok, Twitter, all the same. Just try and make little videos for every game I go to. So yeah, looking forward to going to Villa on Sunday. It's going to be a good cup game. Ours is at 6 p.m. kickoff. If anyone wants to watch that, I don't even know if it's on TV, but it's going to be a good game as well.
We'll watch it on the way back up.
On the bus.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for joining in. Thank you. Yeah, do what Peter says. Drop a like. Much love.
Yeah.
See you later.
Bye.